Dynamic here with the two very good friends. They know each other's games well, and Cabeza Candela actually leads the head-to-head.
I know, and well, she's 6 years older than her younger opponent in Muguruza. Interesting matchup today. Muguruza pretty strong from the back of the court. Spanish tend to have a little bit of flair about the way that they play. They slice, they hit top spin, they drop shot quite a lot, and that's through growing up on the red clays in Spain. So I'm looking forward to a great contest here, but I think Muguruza might get over the line.
Yeah, the last time they met was actually on grass, qualifying for a tournament in the Netherlands. Muguruza taking that 6-3, 6-2. Had a really good start to 2013, but then had injury problems which kept her off the tour, and her ranking went down and is at 58, but really potentially could have been well inside the top 30 if she had have had that full 6 months on the WTA tour to finish off the year.
Well, she looks a lot like Anna Ivanovic. Tall, slim build. And probably hits the ball just as hard as Anna does.
And she's got plenty of power, yeah, absolutely. And for Muguruza, moved through qualifying, didn't drop a set. Through to this stage of the event, hasn't dropped a set either. Was particularly strong working her way through. In the opening set, played a lucky loser 6-1, 6-1. Then had the retirement of Janina Wickmeyer through illness, 4-1 the opening set. And then a big win over the second seed, Kirsten Flipkens, 6-4, 6-3. This is John Blom, our chair umpire, with the toss of the coin.
Heads. That one's heads, yeah. Serve. Okay.
So Cabeza Candela will be serving first in this semi-final. A wonderful opportunity for both of these players. And the winner will play Klara Zakopalova, who had a straight sets win over the top seed, Sam Stosur of Australia. 6-3, 6-2, 1 hour and 24 minutes on court. There is Garbine Muguruza. And while we have the opportunity with both players on court, let's find out a little bit more about our semi-finalists. Estrella Cabeza Candela reached the top 100 for the first time in 2013, and her best result on the WTA Tour was a semi-final appearance at the tournament in Palermo. With 8 ITF singles titles to her name, she won through qualifying here and beat the defending champion Elena Vesnina in the second round, and had a tough 3-set win over Monica Niculescu yesterday. Please welcome from Spain, Estrella Cabeza Candela. Garbine Muguruza achieved her highest ranking of 53 in 2013, reaching her first WTA semi-final and a 4th round appearance at Indian Wells and Miami. She also won her first WTA Tour doubles title here in Hobart. The winner of 7 ITF singles titles and a quarter-finalist in Auckland last week, she hasn't dropped a set through qualifying to this stage of the tournament, beating the second seed Kirsten Flipkens in the quarter-finals. Please welcome from Spain, Garbine Muguruza. And your umpire for this match from New South Wales, John Blom. So good form heading into this event for Muguruza as well. The first tournament of the year in New Zealand, in Auckland, getting through a couple of rounds there and just continued it on.
Well, it's great to see a good up-and-coming young player. And Spain has had a very rich history in producing a lot of terrific female players. Irani and Vinci and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario going back a few years.
Let's have a look at the highlights from their matches yesterday. And a tough match for Cabeza Candela against the awkward Monica Niculescu. We know Niculescu loves that forehand slice and chipping the ball around, and then will flatten out her shots. So it's a really tricky match, and did really well in that final set to take it 6-4. And this is Garbine Muguruza against Kirsten Flipkens last night, and a really comprehensive performance from Muguruza. It was always going to be a danger match. Flipkens has been pushed, particularly by the young Australian Storm Sanders in the previous round, winning that in a 3rd set tiebreak. But Muguruza was just too strong from the back of the court.
Well, we're going to see a few contrasting styles here. Muguruza hits the ball hard and flat off both wings. And Cabeza Candela a little bit more shape on the ball with a little bit more top spin.
And let's take a look at the weather for tonight. Partly cloudy. It's staying 26 degrees. It's been quite warm in Hobart. The warmest has been all week. And maybe the chance of a little bit of sprinkling of rain, but that will be later on, well and truly after this match is finished.
Well, it's certainly nice to see. And here we have Cabeza Candela's way to her semi-final match tonight.
Yep.
Good win over Corinne Knapp, 7-5, 6-4. And then there's Nina. She got the retirement from that one. And then Monica.
Yeah,
having
so
a tight match.
Really tough match, and it was all heading Niculescu's way, but she managed to slowly wear her down. And that retirement in the second round for Elena Vesnina, a hip problem for her. Garbine Muguruza moved through qualifying, no problems. Beat the lucky loser Mestark in the opening round, 1-1. And then Janina Wickmeyer only lasted 5 games before illness struck. And then the really impressive win was over Kirsten Flipkins, and certainly won a good showing here. And as for Cabeza Candela, as I mentioned off the top, has rolled the dice by continuing in this tournament and bypassing the qualifying for the Australian Open. So it means she won't be playing singles in Melbourne next week. And it's a gutsy move, and it's a calculated risk.
Well, I think the risk is that well, it's not really a risk. She's obviously playing well here and thought, well, I'm going to my ranking's 114, obviously reaching the semis. So far, her ranking's going to go inside the top 100. So she'll pretty much get into most of the main draws of Miami and possibly the French. And that's the risk that you take. So she may go down to the Australian Open, forfeit here and then lose first round. So she's better. I think she's made the smart move by staying here and playing.
And she certainly had a good time. But as the Spaniards tend to do here in Hobart, Muguruza winning the title with Toro Flor this time last year. And as you said, Nicole, not your traditional Spanish clay court player. Garbine loves hard courts and is more comfortable on hard courts than what she is on clay.
Which is very unusual. I was actually reading in the paper a couple of days ago that in the first few weeks of the men and the women, like the WTA and the ATP Tour, there was something like 36 withdrawals through injury, sickness. That's an astounding amount, considering Brisbane, Auckland, and I mean for the men in the ATP playing either in the Middle East or in Chennai. That's a lot of defaults coming into the first tournaments of the year when some of them have had an okay off-season to prepare.
Yeah, it's one of the hard things. There's some complete their preparation and think that they've had enough to get ready for Melbourne Park next week, and other of those little injury niggles become problematic. And even if it's on the minor scale, they've got a safety first to get ready and make sure you're fit and ready to go for the first round. And certainly Garbine Muguruza has been in good form and will be a tough matchup for Kai Kanepi, first round of the Australian Open starting on Monday. He's looked very good throughout this tournament, and there's the trainer again. Just doing some running repairs. She's really enjoyed her time in Hobart. It's a relaxed feel at this event. Every year the players they want a low-key preparation. They'll come down here and they get some good matches, good practice time. And it's only an hour away on the plane from Melbourne. And there is Garbine Muguruza. There is that bandaging.
A lot of the players these days don't, unless they walk. It's unusual. Muguruza has no strapping.
Yep.
It's quite unusual these days.
Estrella Cabeza Candela to get us underway in this second semi-final. The winner to play Klara Zakopalova in the final tomorrow. Not the way you want to start, but it has been tricky serving down that end today. Breeze not a factor. The start important for Cabeza Candela. Muguruza is such a good front runner. She's playing with plenty of confidence. Gives you a good idea of the power of Garbine Muguruza and what she's going to do throughout the match.
And already Muguruza, see her hugging the baseline. She's not standing back. She's looking for any short ball. 3 break points here.
And breaks to love Muguruza in the opening game. She's had some big wins over her career. 5 wins against top 20 players, and we include the win over Flipkins yesterday. The biggest win coming over Caroline Wozniacki in Miami last year. Made that good run and really just wants to continue to come up against these players, and certainly a win in this tournament. You talked about ranking points and how important they are. She's hovering in the 50s at the moment. She'll get past her best ranking and really set up a good platform for 2014.
Yeah, and that's what the players are certainly looking for. Well, you can just see right now that Muguruza is really seeing the tennis ball. It feels like the size of a football, an Australian rules football. Taking everything nice and early.
Been a big week for the qualifiers on the WTA Tour. We've got Muguruza and Cabeza Candela here, but another qualifier, Svetlana Baronkova, has made the final in Sydney.
And a lot of seeds have fallen early in Sydney.
Muguruza played, as we mentioned, in Auckland last week, got to the quarterfinals, had a loss to Venus Williams, who made it through to the final. 6-3, 6-3.
It's a big second serve.
Just going for it.
There's not a lot of difference between Muguruza's first and second serve regarding like shape. The first serve's pretty hard and flat, and second serve's pretty much the same. Only not quite as fast.
And holds to 15. Off to a great start, 2 games to love. He missed the second half of 2013 with an ankle injury. Is really making good strides in her career.
You can certainly see the taping on that ankle injury. Well, Cabeza Candela is probably wondering, how am I going to absorb some of this pace from Muguruza? Maybe just, if she can, throw in a few loopy balls just to try and change the pace up a little bit. On the serve from Cabeza Candela, it's not a natural service action. She has that little pause in her swing, and her right elbow is not quite high enough. And we see a little stop there.
50.
Got the. So here's
the serve.
Talk us through it.
Well, she gets this right elbow, and it's just a little close to her hip, and it should be extended out. The elbow should be higher.
And that on the line.
Very impressive start here from Muguruza.
After a match with Vickmeyer only lasted 5 games, she was straight back out on centre court, hitting plenty of tennis balls, still keeping the practice up. Oh, yes. Flying along now. 3 games to love in the opening sets. Wow, what a start.
Well, they know each other's games quite well. And obviously, they would have hit with each other and know their strengths and their weaknesses. And right now, Muguruza is just seeing the ball fantastically. And Cabeza Candela has to try and do something different, whether she takes a bit of pace off her first serve and just kicks her serve in, so it's a different look for Muguruza. If she can slice a few, maybe slice a few, hit a few high balls, just try and get Muguruza out of her rhythm. Coming to the net a little bit.
I mentioned that's strapping.
Move along rapidly, please.
There's the umpire just giving people a hurry up, but that strapping on Cabeza Candela. She's had leg injury problems, derailed her 2013, the end of 2013. So a wonderful start for Garbine Muguruza. 3 games to love in the opening sets. A situation where 2 friends are playing one another. How did you handle that situation?
You kind of just block it out. You have to think that you're not playing the person, you're actually playing the ball that's been hit. Muguruza is just completely overpowering Cabeza Candela at the moment.
Strong work at the nets. Did well just to pick that up from the net court.
30-15.
And sometimes you just feel like you just want to get one game. That's all you have to be thinking about right now. I'm being overpowered in every direction. I just want to get a game, get on the board and start building from there.
Game points for 4-love. It's a powerful performance so far. Muguruza holds 4 games to love in this opening set.
Well, shots like this for Cabeza Candela, you feel like you've got the whole court, but just because you're getting overplayed, you seem to make these mistakes, these mental mistakes. She's just got to keep trying to hang in.
Oh, and again, it's wonderful to watch, except if you're Estrella Cabeza Candela. Set up into position early and put it away. I'd love to get a stats on players who take on Monica Niculescu and how they go in their next round or their next tournament, because it's such a different game style and you feel that you need to actually adjust to that particular game style. You're chipping the ball around, taking all the pace off the ball, just trying to move Niculescu around, who keeps running the entire time. Sometimes difficult to make the adjustment back. Different style in this match.
And this is what happens. Everything starts to fall apart.
Second double fault. It's a barrage at the moment. We've only been on court 13 minutes and Garbine Muguruza leads 5 games to love in the opening sets. Well, it's hard to sort of know what to say at the moment because Muguruza is just in complete control.
Well, the interesting thing is, as this match does progress, whether Muguruza can keep this standard up. Whether she will inevitably make some mistakes throughout this match, but it's how quickly that she can regroup. And you feel for players like Cabeza Candela being completely overawed in these matches, because obviously she's been playing well. She's had a lot of wins underneath her belt, as we mentioned, coming through qualifying and then having some good scalps along the way, but just doesn't really have the firepower right now to make any headways in this match.
Well, what a start for Garbine Muguruza. 5 games to love in the opening set, the semi-final. Klara Zakopalova already through to the final earlier today with a win over Sam Stosur. Muguruza now serving for the set.
There you go.
On the positive, we're trying to find positives for Cabeza Candela in the rally, at least, in that point.
That was a better point there from Cabeza Candela. Although Muguruza had the opportunity to come into the net.
As the wind starts to pick up in the Domain Tennis Centre. Oh, can do nothing wrong.
This is perfect hitting height here for Muguruza.
I think the crowd is a little surprised. A wonderful crowd here in Hobart tonight. And has raced to 3 set points.
I think we need to find a slice backhand here for Cabeza Candela, just to try and change things up a little bit. Have a look at a different ball.
She's won just 3 points for the set. That is as comprehensive a first set as you will ever see. Garbine Muguruza takes it 6 games to love in just 17 minutes. Understandably, her coach will come out onto courts and they will try and work out a way to break down the Muguruza game, but so far, Nicole Bradke, it has just been an emphatic performance.
Well, everything that Muguruza has touched has turned to gold. And I guess the only thing I'd like to see Cabeza Candela forget the hard first flat serve. That's obviously what Muguruza's loving right now. Let's try and get a kick serve in. Maybe chop a few backhands, slice a few backhands, come to the net. She needs to find... My Spanish is not great.
No, neither's mine.
I think, well, I definitely know a coach will be just going, let's just go 1 point at a time. Let's really build a building block here. Oh, look. Obviously, he's giving her good positive vibes here. She's got a beautiful smile on her face.
Estrella Cabeza Candela getting advice from her coach after Garbine Muguruza has raced through the first set, 6 games to love. And the first task will be to get on the board in this second set. But Garbine Muguruza is living every tennis player's dream, where everything you do is right. You hit a lot of winners, no unforced errors, and just totally dominating.
Second set.
Cabeza Candela to get us underway in the second set.
And also, this is where Cabeza Candela has to go back to the basics. Let's hit lots of cross courts, not like go lines. Let's go for the big picture on the court. So that shot really is not on in a match situation like this, is the way that it's going. Hit that forehand back cross court. Give yourself a chance to be in the rally.
Love 40.
Well, just 3 points in that opening set. And already Muguruza with 3 break points. In the situation, Cabeza Candela will take that. Just her 4th point for the match. We're into the second set.
There you go. There's those cross-court forehands I was talking about. Get the one down the line for a little while. Breakpoint opportunity here for Muguruza.
And there we go. A couple of unforced errors from Muguruza. That doesn't help when you've done all the hard work to get back into the game. And the break happens anyway. So the opening game going to Garbine Muguruza. She's won the first 7 games of this match. And really, that opening set was just extraordinary. It was all one-way traffic to Garbine Muguruza.
Muguruza just too strong from the back of the court. Hard and flat ground strokes from both wings, forehand and backhands.
And once she got rolling, she was impossible to stop. Hitting winners on both sides. So we take a look at the stats.
Oh, that's and then we see Muguruza with just 30% of first serves in compared to 69 for Cabeza Candela.
It's an extraordinary stat sheet. And just 3 points for the opening set. It's probably the only thing, if you were talking about Muguruza's game overall, is that first serve percentage. But considering how quickly that set went by, you can't really complain.
Really nitpicking if we're doing that at this stage.
40 love.
Of course, Muguruza serving with new balls here, and so that they're going to fly even more off the racket.
Oh, it's wonderful to watch. Holds to love. 6 love, 2 love, the scoreline. We haven't even hit the half-hour mark of this match. Very quick around the court, likes to keep the tempo going. So one thing for Cabeza Candela is to slow things down, take her time between points.
15 love.
first ace for Cabeza Candela.
Let second serve.
Balanced out with a 5th double fault.
It's always going to happen, I think, throughout this match on the Cabeza Candela serve.
30-15.
Just with that little hiccup in the swing at the back. You've only got to be a little bit down in confidence, and that's when the double faults seem to flow.
Now a valuable game point for Cabeza Candela. She was down in a match against Niculescu yesterday, lost the first set 6-3, and then was just slowly able to get herself back into the match. She found a way. Game point.
Juice.
But just the relentless pressure from Muguruza. Again, a wonderful return.
Muguruza.
Break points for the match, 7 of 7. In fact, 4 of 7, I should say. Crowd getting involved. I want to see Cabeza Candela get back into this match.
This is where Cabeza Candela's probably thinking, oh, maybe I should have gone to Melbourne and qualified. All these thoughts coming through your head. Good point there from Cabeza Candela. They're the sorts of points that she has to play.
You just feel the confidence is starting to build again.
Advantage Cabeza Candela.
But still this hurdle of getting that game. Just missed. She's on the boards. Estrella Cabeza Candela. But it's Muguruza with the break. 2 games to 1 in this second set.
Now she can sit down at the end and Cabeza Candela and take a big, deep breath and go, phew, that's it. Great, done that. Now let's try and break serve here.
Yeah, she was under pressure and just halting the momentum, even for just a minute or two of Muguruza.
Well, there's a couple of things in that game that Cabeza Candela did. We saw when she was defending, she sliced her backhand, came to the net, and they're just a couple of little different things that turned around and was able to win the game.
It certainly makes a huge difference getting that game on the board. Just one at least. Feel like you're still in the match.
You're still climbing this mountain.
Yeah.
It's a very big mountain that we're climbing. But then for Muguruza, she has to maintain this standard, because if she's to get through this match, obviously she'll have the final tomorrow.
So Muguruza, 2 games to 1, still with a break in this second set. You see the scoreline of the opening set went by very quickly. 6 games to love.
Love.
There you go, just catching that one late again. Trying to hit an off backhand through the middle of the court's a very difficult shot to hit.
Doing everything she can to get the ball back into play, Cabeza Candela. Full stretch there. And again, Muguruza, who's so quick around the court, just easily put it away.
Love.
Holds to love. 3 games to 1. We're talking about her first serve percentage in the opening set. Hasn't missed in this second set.
I was just about to say that. Very daunting prospect when Muguruza gets her first serve in, then you know that you've got to get a good deep return. Otherwise, there are these barrages of these great ground strokes.
Love 50.
Six double fault for the match for Cabeza Candela.
Love 30. Let's
Oh,
great shot.
Wonderful. Another forehand winner for Muguruza. Another 3 break points.
She has quite compact swings, Muguruza. There's not much room for error if she's seeing the ball really well. She really relies on a bit of pace from her opponent. Short back swings, but really good extension and follow through on the ball.
And there it is, another break of serve. Muguruza running away with his semi-final. 6-love, and now 4-1 in the second set. And I think talking about that pace, the pace that Klara Zakopalova can put on the ball as well, I think will be to Garbine Muguruza's liking, particularly on that forehand side.
Well, I certainly hope Clara's coming back from the hotel, because she did mention in her, after the win against Sam Stosur, that she was going back to have a little bit of a rest. Well, it's been a very quick rest at this stage, but she's probably here now watching a bit of this match, because scouting her opponent. But a very different player, Klara Zakopalova. Hits the ball hard and flat as well.
Time.
Yeah, it'll be plenty of similarities between the two players, but
Very much.
the pace that Zakopalova can generate as well. You'll see Muguruza right at the middle of the court will be able to get that direction happening and be able to still generate plenty of winners along the way as well. But in a strong position right here. 6-love, 4-1, Muguruza serving.
59.
But I think you can just see too from Muguruza, from her demeanour, that I think she's quite, I mean, everyone's always in control when you're winning as comfortably as you are here, but I think she just gives off that presence that she's very in control of the situation.
Did I just see that?
No.
First double fault. Small window opportunity on the Muguruza serve. Cabeza Candela still positive, bouncing around the court. And now a break point. Her first for the match. It's nice under any sort of pressure in this second set to be able to come up with that.
It's a tough shot here for Muguruza, a tall girl having to bend low.
I thought it was wide as well. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Fist pump as well. Just generating so many great angles from the middle of the court.
Now we see one step inside the baseline.
Juice.
Nicely saved from Cabeza Candela. One of the rare times where she's been able to really force the issue in the match. The thing is, Muguruza isn't holding back either. Full stretch there on the forehand cross court.
Muguruza is not an agile mover. I think she anticipates quite well, but if you're able to get her moving and use the angles and open up the court.
Seconds.
And again, anything that's at the service line is being punished. One game away now from a spot in the final tomorrow. It's a one-sided scoreline, but to see Muguruza in full flight, and certainly for this Hobart crowd, they haven't had too much time to see her. The matches have gone very quickly. Certainly enjoying that side of things as well.
Good wide serve there from Cabeza Candela.
What power.
15-30.
Cabeza Candela stranded way behind the baseline, just trying to run everything down. 2 points away from the final. It's been a quick match. 45 minutes on court. 6-love, 5-1. 2 match points for Garbine Muguruza. Cabeza Candela, oh, got nothing to lose now, just going for it.
It's good to see Muguruza coming into the net, though.
That is as complete a performance as you will ever see.
6-love, 6-1.
Garbine Muguruza, 6-love, 6-1 in 45 minutes. What a performance. The qualifier from Spain has been extraordinary to get to the final here at the 2014 Hobart International, and she'll be looking to keep that form running for at least one more match, tomorrow's final. As we take a look at match point.
Well, a lot more rallies seem to come flowing in that second set from Cabeza Candela, but just a very polished performance from Muguruza.
Oh yes, unstoppable in the opening set and was able to keep that momentum going in the second set. 6-love, 6-1 sets up a meeting with Klara Zakopalova in tomorrow's final. Have met once before, Zakopalova leading the head-to-head there, 1-0. But you suspect with that sort of performance, 45 minutes, may even consider just going out and hitting a few more balls just to make sure that get out there and have maybe a bit more of a workout.
Well, she certainly had enough matches, so that's not the issue. So, and had a good warm-up and just a very polished performance. I'd go home and rest up and be ready for tomorrow.
Well, before she does that, she's got the post-match interview, and it certainly was a wonderful performance by Garbine Muguruza, winning through qualifying, doing the hard work, 6-love, 6-1. She'd be very happy. She's downstairs with Matt Richards.
Garbine, you must be in shock. An amazing performance tonight. You just seeing the ball like a football on court and through to your first ever WTA singles final.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I played my best tennis today, and that's very difficult, and I'm very happy.
You know Estrella very well, obviously a fellow Spanish player. Is it difficult playing a good friend and obviously in such a big match for both of you at semi-final level?
Yeah, it's very difficult because you're friends and you know so much each other, and it's a semi-final and we are nervous and we have pressure, but tennis is like this and you have to do your best.
Now, a lot of people here in Hobart wouldn't know you were actually your first ever WTA title here in Hobart last year in the doubles. Are you hoping tomorrow to make it a Candela and win your first ever singles title here in Hobart as well?
Yes, I will try my best. I would like so much to win tomorrow, and I love playing here. I won doubles last year, and now I'm in the final, so I'm very happy to be here in Hobart.
You were having an outstanding 2013 before injury cut your season short. You had a great start to the year. During your time off and preparing for 2014, what were some of the main things that you worked on with your coach?
I worked so hard in the preseason, and with my coach I've been working so much to focus and to be so concentrated in the game, and that's what I'm doing every match.
You played outstandingly well tonight. Tomorrow you'll take on Klara Zakopalova from the Czech Republic. She had a great win today over Australia's Samantha Souza. Have you played Klara at WTA level, and what do you think of that matchup in tomorrow's final?
Yeah, I played her and I know how she plays. I know she's a good player. She won today a big match. And I'm just looking forward to play tomorrow against her and do my best.
Well, Garbine, we love having you here in Hobart. It was an amazing performance tonight, and we can't wait to see you in tomorrow's singles final. Best of luck. Hopefully Hobart can prove twice lucky for you for first-time career titles. Please congratulate from Spain, Garbine Muguruza, moving forward at this year's tournament.
Yeah, a wonderful performance. 6-love, 6-1, the final score. And there she is signing the camera lens as well. The tradition now on both the WTA and ATP tours for the players to sign the lens. And certainly she will be very confident heading into tomorrow's final against Klara Zakopalova. Let's take a look at the highlights, Nicole. And it was just a display of power, hitting, precision. Had absolutely everything from Garbine Muguruza today.
Well, everything that Muguruza touched today seemed to turn to gold. forehands and backhands, could basically hit them anywhere that she wanted them to go. Although, I mean, the only downside was that her first percentage of first serve was pretty low in that first set, which I think she's going to have to try and rectify for tomorrow. But tomorrow's going to be a very different match for her against Zakopalova. She hits the ball hard and flat, so it's going to come quite quick at her. But I think she's certainly got the tools and the mental capabilities to definitely win her first WTA title tomorrow.
Her opponent won only 3 points for the opening sets and started to get into it in the second set, and there were breakpoint opportunities along the way. She held serve and the signs are looking a little more positive, but the onslaught from Muguruza, her game level didn't drop the entirety of the match.
And it's hard to win a match 6-love, 6-1. It becomes a mental battle with you to see if you can keep up sustain that level of tennis that you did in that first set. And of course they were going to dip a little bit, and that's why she won the set 6-1, but it was just all on Muguruza's racket there. And
55 points to 18, the total points won. Took a lot of breakpoint opportunities. The first serve percentage, 53%. It was better in the second set than what it is in the first, and the first set was 6-love. So,
and the double faults there from Cabeza Candela, that's almost a game and a half that you're giving your opponent away. And then the first serve percentage was pretty low from Muguruza, so like I mentioned before, that was one thing that she's going to have to bring up tomorrow in her final.
It's going to be a wonderful final. Garbine Muguruza, and she'll take on Klara Zakopalova. The head-to-head between the two of them stands at 1-0 for Zakopalova. That was a tournament in Seoul in 2012 on a hard court. It was a 3-set win for Zakopalova, 7-6 in the third set. And really, I'm seeing that it's going to be just as close tomorrow. These guys, or these players, have similar game styles. It's going to be a display of power, hitting, and it's just going to be very interesting to see how it goes, certainly in the early stages.
I think it's going to come down to the mental battle that Zakopalova certainly brings to the court. If she's just that little bit off, or she's showing emotion, I think that Muguruza's certainly got the tools to be able to deal with that.
It's going to be one hell of a final to decide the 2014 Hobart International. Garbine Muguruza emphatic tonight, 6-love, 6-1. Will play the 7th seed, Klara Zakopalova, who had a 6-3, 6-2 win earlier today over the top seed, Sam Stosur. It's going to be another wonderful day in Hobart, and we look forward to your company tomorrow for the final from the Domain Tennis Centre. But for now, it's goodbye from Hobart.